PKA 642. Guests had trouble. No guests tonight, just the boys.
Yeah, we've seen the South Park episode where strong woman is competing against the other strong women. Okay, well, for Woody's benefit, there's an episode where there's a very fit real lady with a vagina, and she's got like a six-pack, and she competes in like track and field as an adult, and her ex-boyfriend, to like be a dick, joins as a trans woman and like breaks all her records. So now she's silver medal on the podiums and stuff, and he's literally drawn and voiced like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh, yeah. So,
I'm a strong woman. he's like doing, yeah, exactly.
He's all bloody on the.
Yeah, he whipped her ass. The one of the second place is his ex-girlfriend. He's just there to spite her. Well,
I know where this is going.
This more or less happened in real life last week or so, where I guess a trans woman had joined the weightlifting organization for women and set new records for everything. I think her bench press was in the nature of like 250, 260 or something. And a man who is a Olympic weightlifting coach, I believe, is his job. I guess he was probably upset by this. So he became a trans woman real quick. And he dropped in to pop all her records off real quick, blew him out by 100 pounds of lift.
Hell yeah.
Great. The trans woman, I know about this story. The trans woman is a trans woman. Now, she's a powerlifting trans woman, and she kind of, she has long blonde hair, but if you saw her, she doesn't pass, right? Like, you'd be like, oh, this is, you do your own thing.
Like Daniel Radcliffe's girlfriend.
You clearly used to be a guy. I don't know that person.
That's a joke. She's pregnant, but she looks like a man.
Okay. Anyway, so this woman, she was started as a guy, but she wishes that she was a girl. So she's competing against the girl, and she won 8 of the 9 powerlifting events that she entered, and she set records. And let me see. Okay, that I saw her looking a little more feminine than that, but there you go. That's her. Trans woman. Not fair to compete against lifelong women. Is that a good term? I don't know. But here she is. This guy comes, dude. He vibes Taylor. He's got a full beard. He's just man. But for one weekend, said I'm a girl. he beat every record. They do for people that
I hope he took a spite shit in the girls' room too.
Powerlifting is bench press, squat, and deadlift. So he just set the women's record in all 3 of those and did his thing.
First thing he does when he gets there, he goes into the ladies' room to take a big healthy shit and adjust his jock strap.
Dude, show a picture of the guy that broke the records. I don't know. Do you remember his name, Kyle?
I think I saw a photo. He's a very big guy.
I remember him looking like Thor Bjornsson, but like the normal sized version, like bald head with like that sort of not very exactly like the wide mohawk thing where it's like real high and tight, like you've shaved so much of the sides off that Thor does. He looked like a power lifter.
I saw him break the women's bench press record, and I think it was 270, so he did 370. Just by the way he pushed it up and down, I'm guessing he had 470 in him. Like, he benched 370 like I bench 170.
Yeah, 370 was a lark. He was laughing while he was doing it. He was like, ha, watch this, guys, I'm trolling. Like, he's just throwing around 370.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah,
and of course, that trans woman is like, oh, this is a mockery. It's making a mockery of everything we do. And it's like, that is the point he is trying to make. The leopards have eaten your face, my dear. Like you don't get why he's here. He's here because you're crushing little girls' dreams. If I know this, when I look at the at the gym, they had a records board. Man, if those girls' records were the ones I needed to push to beat, it'd be like, well, shit, let's just go home because I got most of those already. But the men's records were something to fucking aspire to. It's like, that takes a lifetime of effort to get to a 500-pound bench press or a fucking 675 squat or 800, whatever it was at my gym. It was something silly. They don't get too crazy because it's a fucking normal gym. But anyway, yeah.
I looked again. Taylor's more handsome than this dude. But when you see him, you'll see how
masculine he is.
Maybe they share an energy.
Perhaps. They both look like they would slap a woman, real or otherwise.
Right? Like
that guy looks strong as shit.
Yeah.
That guy looks strong as shit. Yeah.
He's the strongest woman on the planet. Of course he does.
That guy is
she does.
a powerful woman.
Look how thick
Would you please stop
look how thick that lady is.
Yeah. No,
That's thick with 3 or 4 C's.
He's an anamorph.
That's a bad bitch right there.
That woman can deadlift.
The Animorphs are ruining sports because they're turning into gorillas and dominating weightlifting. That's how the Animorphs would handle it. Actually,
I wonder if their joints are built correctly for something like that. Like if I could animate the body of a gorilla, what tasks would I be good at, and what tasks would I be strangely ill prepared for?
They're really good at pulling and really bad at throwing.
I bet their backs. I want to see.
Wait, are they bad at throwing?
Yeah, they can't throw stuff the way we can, I guess, because their forearm is a different.
Too long.
Like it's too long, and so they get the same reason that like the angle, like apparently the length of their forearm imbues a lot more power, like in the lever action of it, and so that long forearm allows them to like grab your fingers, well, in the muscles, of course, and like tear them off, but also like they can't throw shit well.
When I see them throw, they throw like this.
Yeah.
Really? I thought I saw him throw sidearm a lot. Like I see him throw water bottles at the zoo.
Yeah. But never
they can't overhand like us. Yeah, and overhand is the best way to throw.
You would think so. Remember?
I don't know.
The Germans
every so often a weird pitcher does another thing, like throws sort of
down. Yeah.
Did you ever hear like in the World War II days, like apparently the American soldiers were like noticeably and markedly better at throwing grenades than every other group because no one else threw baseballs. And so like Germans and all them, like they couldn't throw it as well as Americans could. Maybe that's
the design of a German grenade. It's that is it called a steel?
It's a potato masher, right?
That stick grenade where you've got the handle and the explosive end on it. I would rather throw that than a regular one anyway. I feel like I could flick that motherfucker.
Yeah, I wonder how heavy they are. Yeah, I like throwing those in World at War too.
I feel like if I was throwing for distance,
probably
maybe me, but maybe not you. Like, because you're good at throwing a ball.
Yeah, for distance, a ball would definitely be easier than the stick.
Yeah. Well, for someone who's good at throwing a ball, for someone who's kind of not that skilled at either, the stick might be better.
The stick will be harder to fuck up. I've seen so many people get nervous and mess up a grenade throw by the release happening too late. If you haven't thrown in a sport, like the release point is important. And if they get too far over, they just throw it over there, like laterally. You see that like in some of those opening day pitches sometimes that are embarrassing. But I've seen guys throw grenades on the internet just over there instead of the pit that's over there.
Yeah.
Right at their own feet.
Yeah,
and the instructor has to like save them.
Or I saw one where it was a demonstration for cops, I think, recently. There's like 30 cops in a field. I think they're throwing flash grenades, stun grenades of some kind. But the dude just kind of threw it to his left, and everybody starts running away from it. It's going off. Some people get nervous, and they can't do things very well. Their motor skills go to shit. I know if your adrenaline's going really hard, my hands go numb and start tingling. Like when I have a big adrenaline dump in Tarkov, I'd be over here shaking my hands out trying to get and you know what it is? My brain thinks that I am in such a tense situation that blood that it's putting in my hands, that needs to be in here because we're about to do some shit. I need that blood to power my heart and my liver and get it out of there because we're about to get fucked up. It's just going to leak out, Dude, and meanwhile, I'm clicking on pixels.
It's funny how your body gets that because when I queue for a multiplayer Age of Empires 2 match, my body thinks that we might actually die because my hands are getting sweaty because it is like you were talking about Warhammer 3, Kyle, and I've been playing a bunch of that. Like Warhammer 3 takes a lot of micromanagement of units, a huge amount of it. I would say realistically, the actions per minute you need in Warhammer 3 versus Age of Empires 2 is about 15 to 20% as many. Like you need probably about 5 times as many actions per minute in AoE, bare minimum. The pros get about 180 actions a minute in AoE, like 3 actions a second, some of them, like very, very fast. Like I stopped playing online with AoE for a bit because I would queue up and it would match me with someone, and then I would get nervous and then they would back out, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna play against AI again, man. Like I'm stressed, and then you start playing a game and you're like, this is going well. My little economy, it's going okay right now, and then someone rushes you in a way that you're not prepared for, and you're so in your own head freaking out. It's so stressful, but you get drawn into it because I know how upset it makes me when someone raids my base and like is fucking with my early economy and everything, and it makes me panic. But I keep getting sucked in because I know that feeling of satisfaction when I'm the one fucking up their base early on. And it's just like, I know in my head, I'm like, this guy's fucking panicking right now. Like, this guy's having a terrible time right now trying to deal with this. If he were a good player, like, he'd just wipe the floor with me, but we're both a similar tier of shit. And so, yeah,
I want to do a
my love of gaming has been rejuvenated with like AOE
so glad.
and Warhammer 3. I've been playing so much Warhammer 3 with Kyle. We've been having a fuccking blast with it with people in the Discord and 1v1ing a ton. Like,
I want to play a Rust wipe with you because what you just described there, the scariness of a base being destroyed, that's what Rust is kind of about for me. It's about going and taking someone else's base and protecting your base. There's a lot of running around and dicking around, but man, it's so scary when even raiding someone else's base, because to go raid another person's base, you have to bring your rockets out of yours. Now you're outside with those rockets in your bag, right? Someone can come along and kill us and take our rockets. You can't imagine the work that went into making those rockets. All week has been about getting these rockets, and someone could just shoot us right now and take them. It's very scary. It's 4 a.m. in the real world, and we set alarms to wake up for our nighttime like raids, because we want them to be fucking asleep in the real world and in the game. You have to time it. So it's like a movie when they're all wearing ski masks and they're like drilling a hole in the vault, being quiet about it. That's how I raid. We're like sneaking in, trying not to make a lot of noise.
I'm down to try Rust. Like
it's silly.
In FPSs, I'm definitely going to be a liability for a while on teams, but
yeah. But the only way you're ever going to get better is by like losing a bunch. I've been killed so many goddamn times in so many fucking games. It ironically,
the absolute best game for me to start playing on PC was Age of Empires 2, because it set the anchor point. Like, because that was the first PC game I ever set up a shit ton of hotkeys for, it made me think that I was going to have to set up dozens of hotkeys for every game I played. Because in AoE, like, I have one for like my villager, like there's 15 of them for select all barracks, select all this, QA for build a farm, QQ, like all these other things. And so in my head, I was doing that for months and months and months, getting real quick at it. And I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of ready for other games. Maybe other games won't be too intimidating for me now because I'm good at this really old one. And then I try new games and I realize immediately, like, oh my God, I started with like S tier difficult game as far as hotkeys. It is laughable how little I've had to change in Warhammer 3.
There's not a lot of hotkeys.
Easy as shit. Like,
a lot of the pros don't use hotkeys. I think where
I can like take bong rips in the middle of games during Warhammer 3.
And you do.
I would not invest in trains. I think that trains is a great hobby for...
Do you really?
No. I would not invest in trains. You're against the rules. I'm calling the brown shirts.